guys, I'm Kayla Root, and this is my friend Connor. And
What up?
yeah, my guest star for today. And before we start, I just want to do a shout out to my friend Junior, because I forgot last time. Sorry about that. And then address this mysterious location that we are in. This is my basement. Yes. And I just set this all up today. So, green screen, there'll be a cool background. It's gonna already be there while you're watching this. So, it's cool. Alright.
It's really bright in here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So, today it's going to be a debate. Science versus zombies. Of course, I'm arguing for science because zombies are not possible.
Zombies are definitely possible.
They're not. Let's go. Let's hear this argument. How are they possible?
Well, I mean, how are they not? Every day, people die and then they come back to life. They got those, like, little zappy thingies. You know?
Yeah, I don't know what those are called.
They're defibrillators. They're called
whoa,
defibrillators.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, but even if they come back to life, I don't see how that classifies them as a zombie.
Well, they go home and eat meat most of the time, right? Most are vegetarians, in which case that's really weird.
It's not eating meat that makes them a zombie, that just makes them a carnivore. It's eating people and being half dead and
Not
then having
necessarily.
flesh
Zombies
coming off.
Zombies don't have to eat people.
What do they eat?
They just have to eat raw meat.
Addressing the theory that zombies are caused by viruses,
Yes.
which you think they are.
They could be. I mean,
They could be.
there's many different ways that a zombie apocalypse could
Alright,
occur.
well, I'm just getting rid of that virus idea by saying viruses work. Saying this again. Viruses work by attacking living cells, injecting the virus DNA into the cell, and basically controlling the cell with that DNA. Just changing sides so the cell works for the virus. But for that to happen, the cell must be alive. So that takes away the half-dead thing. They wouldn't have full muscle movements if it was half-dead. So it wouldn't be able to walk.
Okay. Now, just because it's half dead, and I'm talking about just the brain here, you don't need all of the functions of your brain, obviously, since we can only use 10% of our brain anyway.
Then when they get rid of stuff, it's not going to affect anything. What do
Unless they get rid of parts of the brain that is alive. So now you're down to like 1% of your brain. People can still function with 1% of their brain.
Although they do always say they're dragging like the one. They drag
That's
a
true.
leg.
Zombies do suffer from a good deal of
They just, like, drag
physical
legs and
challenges.
their arm falls off, you know.
And a great deal of mental challenges. Those things have no way of speaking, let's be honest.
Then why do they go and like make sounds?
Why do horses neigh? Why do dogs bark?
They use that as communication. The fact that zombies just walk around
And if they're alone,
making weird sounds.
if they're alone, I mean, for all we know, zombies are
How do you
trying
know
to
they do it
communicate
when
with
they're
each other.
alone?
Because they just do. People record them on camera.
And they meow. Well, I
Yeah.
talk to myself.
Exactly. That's
Oh, it's not gonna.
that's a different kind of special, though.
No, what I'm saying is it's not gonna have the drive to talk to anything if its brain's shut down.
That's true, but maybe it's not talking to anything. Maybe it's just making sound because it likes the way it sounds.
That's true. That does happen sometimes.
I mean, there's that expression of people talking just because they like the sound of their voice. Maybe
It's true.
zombies like the sound of their voice.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If it were even possible.
Which
I
they
mean,
are.
They're not.
They definitely are.
No.
And tell me how they're not possible. Who says that some scientist can't come up with a virus that targets certain areas of the brain and leaves only that part of the brain alive?
Why is it gonna target certain areas of the brain?
Because that's what it's designed to do.
Well, there's no like programming. You can just go like virus.
You can program the DNA in the virus.
It's difficult. Okay, for DNA, you're just gonna be inserting small, like, they don't know how to code things at this moment. I mean, I'm not saying that in the future they can't do that, but it won't be what we call a zombie. It won't be half dead. It'll still be fully functioning.
It can be half dead.
It won't
They
be
can
half
program
dead.
it to not keep like bodily functions functioning properly, so then the body will actually decay but still be fully functional, like in a way.
It won't be. Yeah.
It's not fully functional. It has only the functions that it needs for basic survival.
But then is it really half dead?
Yes.
Because it needs a lot of functions for basic survival.
Not really. You need to be able to get your food and water, which for a zombie could come from the same place.
Then what's it gonna do when it rains?
Nothing. It doesn't
Really?
have like...
There's no temperature.
No, they can shut down their ability to feel. I mean, there are people that do not have the ability to feel.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean temperature is not killing cells. Cells have...
But most of the cells are dead.
What about pH level? And then if cells are dying, then it's not gonna regenerate.
It can. It does whatever it's
Not
programmed
to the
to
same
do.
extent. When you have, like, say half the number of cells, you're not gonna be regenerating at the same amount.
Well, who says? I mean, they could program it so that the virus is telling the cells to reproduce faster.
That's like cancer.
Yeah.
That must suck. That just...
This got really morbid really fast.
That's it for that video. Please comment on whether or not you think zombies are or are not possible.
They're definitely possible.
They're definitely
Isn't even a debate.
not possible. This was a debate, so that
It was, but it's over.
there's
And I won.
room. No, it was a draw. It was a tie. Sure, we'll say it was a tie.
Say
Okay, so also please subscribe, like this video, comment on how this guy here did, and we'll see if he has the ability to come back on for another video. Yes. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Please share it with everyone you know. I'm trying to just branch out with my YouTube reach coverage thingy. So there you go. And see ya. I'm gonna wave now.
Bye.
Before I keep talking. I'm eating this really old dietary supplement. It's so weird.
How's it taste?
Like cherries. And dust. I'm not dying.
Well, that's a disappointment.
I'm not turning into a zombie either.